On his 30th birthday, I discovered that Kyle was cheating on me with a black man. By that time, the entire neighborhood was informed. I didn't act rashly. Instead, I spent a month studying her routine. I installed monitors at home, took time off work under the guise of a business trip, and let Kyle know I was going away. She wouldn't miss this chance for an affair. The next day at noon, the lover boy showed up, a tall and strong black man in his 20s. I found it strange. How could a married woman like Kyle be attracted to such a muscular man? And why would she choose a black man? Wasn't she afraid of being played? They undressed swiftly. By the time I opened the feed, they were already naked. Kyle, a petite New Yorker with a lovely figure, looked distorted under the black man. I always believed Kyle was a good wife, especially since she made breakfast for me every morning. I trusted she was the kind of woman who could live a good life. But now, she was having an affair with a black man. I didn't know how they got involved, but I felt a deep sense of defeat. A rush of blood surged through my body. I wanted to run in with a knife and chop them up. But I had to restrain myself. I couldn't do something rash. They were silent and never spoke. The room echoed only with Kyle's piercing cries and the black man's ugly silhouette. I watched as though the woman was not my wife, a mix of familiarity and strangeness. Her betrayal was absolute, from flesh to soul. I retrieved the key, hesitated at the door, knowing it was the end of my marriage. I felt on the verge of collapse, trembling involuntarily, heart-aching subtly. Nevertheless, I opened the door and stepped in quietly. They were engrossed and didn't notice me enter as they were unaware. Kyle faced away while the black man buckled under her view. His dark skin made Kyle's fair skin even more glaring. I saw the most unbearable scene clearly. I felt dizzy momentarily. I leaned against the doorframe, took a deep breath, then chuckled. When Kyle turned back, her expression changed from shock to despair. She lunged towards me, grabbed my leg, crying, "I'm sorry. It's my fault, punish me. I love you, forgive me this time." I thought she wasn't acting, tears flowed down her face. I wanted to push her away in disgust, but couldn't as she clung tightly. In a gentle tone, I said, "Stop, put on your clothes first." The black man fled without looking back. I smiled, not knowing what expression to wear to face the situation. My smile turned to tears. I couldn't show them my vulnerability, so I forced a smile and told him, "Don't worry, it's fine. She's all yours now." Kyle's expression shifted from shock to surprise, then from surprise to despair. She went crazy, rushing towards me, tears streaming, crying, "I'm sorry. Hit me. I love you, forgive me." I was repulsed and wanted to kick her away, but her tight grip hindered my movement. I gently said, "Stop, put on your clothes, comma." The black man had left, not even glancing back at Kyle. I raised my hand to slap her, watching her tearful face, but eventually held back. It all seemed pointless, comma. Kyle knelt before me all night, crying. The black man had previously been her friend's lover, who later passed him on to her. Half a year ago, when I was away, Kyle's friend had sent her home with the black man, who stayed over. They ended up in bed, our bed. Ever since that incident, Kyle became addicted to the thrill of cheating. Whenever I went on business trips, they would rendezvous. Looking back now, women are indeed born actresses, especially those involved in affairs. In recent years, to earn more money, I often went on business trips. Maybe I overlooked that Kyle was a beautiful woman and appeared delicate, making it easy to attract men's attention. Kyle firmly refused to divorce. I told her I didn't want to sue for divorce to avoid damaging her reputation. In the end, tearfully, she signed the agreement. After the divorce, I sat in the empty living room. This was once my happy home. The house was still there, but the family was gone. My marriage ended, with the main culprits being the black man and another woman, Emma. She was a newly married young woman who had handed her black bed companion to Kyle, causing the affair. Taking revenge on this woman was simple. I spent $50,000 to hire a fitness instructor to flirt with Emma online. Effortlessly. He lured her to a hotel for an affair. 3 nights later, I went to the Hilton Hotel, opened the slightly ajar door of room 1807, and handed the fitness instructor a bag of cash behind the door. He looked inside briefly, then left without counting the money. I entered the suite and gazed at the woman on the bed. Emma's hands and feet were tied to the bedposts, blindfolded, with a slender figure draped in black stockings. Her skirt was hiked up to her waist, sensual, but repulsive to me. She provocatively said, "Dear, hurry up, I can't wait." Sitting on the bed, I traced my fingers on her body, then patted her face forcefully.